Fidelis Care offers quality, affordable health coverage for children and adults of all ages and at all stages of life. Quality health coverage, it's our mission. Call 1-888-FIDELIS or visit fideliscare.org. Hello everybody and welcome to the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Every week at this time, we're going to take a look at our local college sports programs, and we begin this week with the honor roll of local college athletes, brought to you by M&T Bank. At M&T Bank, we're listening, learning, and working hard to understand what's important to Western New York. It's what we've been doing since 1856. M&T Bank, understanding what's important. Coming in at number 3, it's Abigail Williams, capping off an impressive fall season by finishing 21st at the SUNYAC Cross Country Championships at Letchworth Park. The first-year runner was tops among the Golden Eagle runners. At number 2, Malcolm Shaw scored a hat trick with 3 goals against the University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown in a 5-2 win. He followed that up with his 13th goal of the year in a tough 2-1 loss to District of Columbia in what was his final game of his senior season. And topping the list, Miles Powell of the RIT men's hockey team scored 2 shorthanded goals in the first period of the Tigers' 6-3 win over Bentley. Powell is the first Tiger with 2 shorties in a game since moving to Division I. Time now for our local college spotlight athlete of the week. Sometimes things don't go as planned, but what seems like misfortune can be turned into something positive. That's the story of Julia Delgatti from Mercy, now a soccer star at Nazareth. Bill Pucko has her story.
With the completion of the regular season, things could hardly be going better for the Nazareth women's soccer team. Backed by a defense and keeper Braden Dobles of Spencerport, an All-Empire 8 selection last year, the Flyers outscored their opponents 34-5 through their first 17 games, 13 of them wins. Up front, the addition of Julia Delgatti has helped.
Well, we're scoring goals. Obviously in soccer, everybody knows it's hard to score goals, and she's added an element that we maybe didn't have up top before. She's extremely fast, and she has the composure in front of the goal to finish.
Delgatti wasn't supposed to be here. Julia was an all-state high school player at Mercy with a Division I future. She started at Liberty University in Virginia as a freshman, when a stress fracture in her back changed everything.
I knew I needed the surgery. I knew it was a 12-month recovery. So it was really heartbreaking to know that, and I know I needed to come home because I couldn't walk for 3 months, so I needed my parents. Just needed to come back home. I needed physical therapy for 6 months. So it was a long road, so I had to take a year, and I had to kind of go through that.
As a result of that injury, Julia went through a full year of reflection, which wasn't very easy.
My first semester back home, it was almost shocking. I really didn't know what to do. I was still taking classes online at Liberty, but I had to take a couple back here at home, and I was overwhelmed by it because I was in such a great position the year before. I had this setback, and it honestly, the support of my family and friends, they're what got me through it, because I almost felt like I don't know what's next. I don't know what's after this recovery. I don't know where I can play again. So I was very unsure of things.
That's when Nazareth entered the picture. Delgatti was a nursing major at Liberty, which made the Flyers a good academic fit. Everything else seemed to be falling back into place.
So I applied to a couple places. I got in here at Naz. I was super excited about that, so I wanted to take that opportunity right away. So then I was like, if I can play soccer again, if I get the news back from my doctor that I can play again, I absolutely want to play here at Nazareth.
Longtime coach Gail Mann and her Flyers, who had been to the NCAA Sweet 16 only 2 seasons ago, now look like a team capable of returning. Delgatti was the missing puzzle piece, and they didn't have to work too hard to get her.
She contacted me, so and I was open arms. Sure, I'd seen her play in high school. I knew all about her.
Through 17 games, Delgatti owned 13 goals, more than twice that of the team's next best scorer, with a year of eligibility left. She still has to monitor herself physically, and not all her natural ball skills have returned quite yet. Still, it is interesting how things turn out sometimes. This wasn't the path originally chosen, but it led to a pretty good place.
Yeah, not much is missing, like I said, I wasn't expecting this at all. I thought I could come on the team. I really wanted to contribute to the team in any way because I knew they already had a good team. They're very upperclassmen oriented, so I knew that they had established, a great base going from there. So I really just wanted to give it my best and see where things went, and they're going well.
Bill Pucko at Nazareth for the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat.
When we return, J.C. DeLass welcomes U of R volleyball coach Ladi into the Coach's Corner. And later on, Kim Burnson has our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave. All that and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. As we head to break, here's a look at the Nazareth Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Nazareth College. As we come back from break, here's a look at the Geneseo Athletes of the Week, brought to you by SUNY Geneseo. Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Each week, J.C. DeLass from WYSL Radio will help us get to know an area coach a little better with the Fidelis Care Coach's Corner. The Fidelis Care Coach's Corner is presented by Fidelis Care, quality health coverage. It's our mission.
This is J.C. DeLass with this week's Fidelis Care Coach's Corner, and our guest this week is Ladi in her 9th season as head women's volleyball coach at the University of Rochester. Ladi, you played Division I volleyball at Evansville. Was that when the spark of interest in coaching began for you?
Oh, no. Well, the interest in coaching actually began after I finished playing volleyball. I played at University of Evansville for 4 years. I was a middle blocker. After that, I had the opportunity to actually play in a very short-lived professional league called the USPV. And I played with a team up in Grand Rapids, Michigan called the Grand Rapids Force. When that ended, I was also very fortunate that I was selected to play with the Nigerian national team. And so I went and I trained with them for about 6 months, and then we played in the 2004 Olympic qualifier, actually, for the African countries. So that was really great. And then after that came to an end, I realized that I had a love of volleyball that I didn't want to stop. And quite interestingly enough, I always wanted to be a teacher. And so I realized that I could kind of blend my love of teaching and my love of volleyball into a career in coaching. So.
You mentioned Olympic qualifier, and this was an Olympic year. Do you find that when it is an Olympic year that the interest in your sport, women's volleyball, is increased, and maybe you get a chance to talk to more kids about coming to the University of Rochester?
Absolutely. I think volleyball fans are always watching, but the great thing about Olympic years is that it exposes people who aren't necessarily used to volleyball to be able to see the sport and see how fun and how fast-paced it is. And I think the biggest part from a recruiting aspect is that there are lots of young women who maybe never played volleyball, played other sports, and they see this on television and see these women playing and go, oh, wow, this is a sport I never thought about. Maybe I should try it. And so that's the cool part about seeing it on TV.
I look at your roster and I see kids from all around the country. I see internationally you've brought kids in as well. I mean, for you, that's a wide group to try and get to come to the U of R, and I imagine that's pretty tricky for you.
It's definitely challenging. Recruiting is always challenging, but on the other hand, it's very easy because Rochester is such a fantastic school. We're internationally known. We have a huge international student population. We're nationally known, and it's very easy to, recruit people from California, and, Texas and Arizona, and local kids as well, just because everybody knows how fantastic of an educational institution Rochester is. So that part's definitely easy.
There's a real coaching fraternity here at the U of R, isn't there? I mean, the other coaches, the other sports, you guys get along, not only just get along very well, but I know you all help each other too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all here for the same reason. We all have a very, very focused goal of, we want our teams to win and perform well, but we also want them to get better every time we play. We always try to be very mindful that our role is to be educators for our student athletes. And so I think that all the coaches here take that very seriously, and knowing that, we try to help each other out, whether it's a recruiting tip here, or here, this is, what we've used with our team that works, or here's a resource that, has helped our team be good. And so I think that it helps it to be a very, we're almost like a team of our own, if you would say.
There's no doubt about that. Well, thank you very much for joining us this week.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching this week's Fidelis Care Coach's Corner.
Kim Burnson is up next with our Scholar Athlete, and later on, the defending SUNYAC champion Geneseo Knights are ready to take the ice once again. All that and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. Before we go to break, here's a look at the RIT Athletes of the Week, brought to you by the Rochester Institute of Technology. As we come back from break, here's a look at the SUNY Brockport Athletes of the Week, brought to you by the College at Brockport.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave, Digital Audio Visual Environments.
Where can you go to get expert advice and installation on TVs, sound systems, and automation for your home, car, or business? Come see Dave, Digital Audio Visual Environments. ComeSeeDave.com.
This week, our Scholar Athlete is Amber Villela, a first-year student athlete at Roberts Wesleyan College. Amber is a forward for the Red Hawks soccer team and is majoring in biology with hopes of becoming a pediatric oncologist. She's been awarded multiple Scholar Athlete honors and was the Skills USA Health Occupations Professional Portfolio National and State Champion. As a future leader for the Red Hawks both on and off the field, this week Amber Villela is honored as our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave, Digital Audio Visual Environments. Now with a look at our college calendar, here's Dave Yates.
Here's our local college calendar for the week ahead. On Thursday, the Roberts Wesleyan volleyball team hosts Damon College. They also host Mercy College on Saturday. Friday is hockey night in Rochester. The RIT women host Robert Morris University for a pair of games at the Policini Center. Friday at 6 and then Saturday afternoon at 2. And at 7 p.m. on Friday, Brockport hockey is home versus Morrisville State. Saturday, Nazareth hockey plays Stevenson at 4 p.m. That is on Naz's home ice at the Bill Gray's Iceplex. Also Saturday, Geneseo swimming hosts Cortland. Both the men and women are in for the dual meet at 1 p.m. And finally on Saturday, men's and women's cross-country NCAA Atlantic Regionals take place at Rowan University in Glassboro, New Jersey. RIT, U of R, Brockport, Geneseo, St. John Fisher, and Naz are all competing for the chance to go on to the Nationals in Louisville. Geneseo is the #1 ranked team in the men's division. That is our college sports beat calendar. And now here's how some Section 5 alums are doing at colleges outside of Rochester. It's a segment we call Postcards from College. Jerron Jones had his best game of the year for Notre Dame in a big win versus Miami. The Aquinas grad had 7 tackles, 6 for a loss, and a sack. Another Notre Dame student, Matt Gamble from Webster Schrader, made it to the semifinals at the ITA Midwest Regionals with doubles partner Alex Lebedev. He also advanced to the round of 32 in singles competition. Michaela Sargent of Victor won the 200 IM for Florida in a double dual meet against Texas and Indiana. The Gators women are ranked 18th in Division I. And Churchville Chale's Lucas Fernandez is starting to get some playing time at Temple. The first-year player has tallied over 60 minutes and played in each of the last 2 Owls games. Those are our postcards from college. Coming up next, our honor roll of teams, and later on, the Knights are ready to defend their SUNYAC crown. All that and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. As we head to break, here's a look at the Roberts Wesleyan Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Roberts Wesleyan College. As we come back from break, here's a look at the St. John Fisher Athletes of the Week, brought to you by St. John Fisher College. Welcome back once again. Thanks for joining us on the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Here is our honor roll of local college teams. At number 3, it's the Monroe Community College women's soccer team. They beat Mercyhurst Northeast 10-0 to win their 18th consecutive Region 3 title. Eleni Marco, Marla Roberts, and Gabriella Hallman all had 2 goals apiece. At number 2, it's St. John Fisher. Their field hockey squad finished the Empire 8 season 8-0 with a 2-1 win over Hartwick. The Cardinals head into the postseason riding a 15-game winning streak. And topping the list, Geneseo Cross Country, the dominant program, rolled on, with the men winning their 3rd straight SUNYAC title. That makes 7 of the last 8 and 15 titles overall. Not to be outdone, the women won their 6th straight SUNYAC title and their 16th in the last 17 seasons. That is amazing. And now it is time for our Spotlight Team of the Week. Hockey season is in full swing, and the Knights of Geneseo couldn't wait to get back on the ice. Here's Kim Burnson.
It was a season no one could have predicted. Following a time of loss and triumph, the Geneseo Knights hockey team came together for their first SUNYAC championship in 10 years. Their team bond then carried them to the postseason in Lake Placid, their 2nd Division III Frozen Four appearance in just 3 seasons.
It was exciting. Anytime you get to go to the Frozen Four, it's you want to bring home a national championship to the school, and unfortunately, that didn't work out for us, but I think we turned a lot of heads last year, and we accomplished what we set out to accomplish, and that was a conference championship and an NCAA berth.
It wasn't an easy road by any means. A banner honoring a fallen teammate overlooks the rink. It reminds returning players of last season's journey and the importance of a strong team camaraderie. With 8 first-year players added to the roster, team seniors stress the significance of that bond.
I think when they all committed last year, I think they kind of were aware of what was going on, what happened and all that, so we're just trying to keep them involved as a team and kind of show them what we learned from our experiences last year and kind of preach that to them and have them just work hard and worry about their next 4 years here. So,
how do you make the new guys really buy in and understand the bond that you guys have?
I mean, we have a good bunch of guys, good bunch of returners, so I think that just comes with it. The guys that just came in fit in really well. They have good character. They fit into our style, so it hasn't really been hard.
Though the Knights have a large group of players returning, the new class is expected to make an impact right out of the gate.
I want the freshmen to step up, and I think as a freshman, it's a big opportunity for all of them to come in, a new scene from juniors and all that, so I'm really expecting them to all step up and do their part to help us out, so I'm really excited.
The entire class we're expecting a lot out of. There's a lot of talent in the class, and there's players that can make an impact right away, so we're kind of excited to see what they can do first game. So I think they have to learn the culture, figure out a lot of things both academically and athletically, and if they stick to the culture of what we're trying to build and stick to the program, I think they'll figure things out quickly.
This new squad has a lot to live up to. Geneseo was picked first in the SUNYAC preseason poll, with SUNY Plattsburgh in a close second. The Knights are returning 3 All-Americans, senior forwards Stephen Collins and Trevor Hills, and junior defenseman Pat Condon.
This class in particular has won a lot of hockey games, so they know how to win. That's the big thing. Now it's a matter of making sure there's no egos, making sure there's no individual play, and sticking to the culture of our team. I think any team that's ranked first in the poll is going to want to try to live up to those expectations, but it's up to us as a coaching staff to ground them and make sure that we're doing the right things, taking it a day at a time.
I think as a team we're pretty deep, up front especially. I think we have a lot of speed, and our power play is pretty deadly if it's doing well, so I think they're going to have to prepare for our power play and our speed.
After last season's success, it's back to square one for the Knights, who are going to take it day by day to get back to the Frozen Four.
The biggest thing for us is to stay in the moment. A lot of people like to look ahead, and they look ahead to the big matchups. We do everything in our power to stay in the now, stay in the moment.
So what are your expectations for this season?
To win Friday night, and that's as far as I'll go. We have to stay in the moment.
Geneseo started off the year beating Nazareth 3-2.
Well, thanks everybody for watching.
And a special thanks to our sponsors, including Fidelis Care, for making the College Sports Beat possible.
Thanks again. We'll see you here next week.